Several months ago I started watching Ken.
He's a Clash Royale player who, well, plays Clash Royale.
But it's curious because I'm a furry artist. I mean, look at me. Now look at him. Why will I be interested in watching a middle-aged man playing for 10 minutes while going through a midlife crisis? Apparently, there's nothing in common between us, but I think that is what makes this interesting.
I haven't played Clash Royale for about 3 years, but I still stay watching because of the way he plays. I don't know exactly how to describe it, but I feel he does it with an overwhelming amount of passion.
Many of the things he says or does don't make sense most of the time, and they are even questionable.
Aren't you Sparky, you fucking moron?
But there are some flashes of clarity in his videos that I really enjoy.
I feel that sometimes he steps outside of the ordinary.
Quite interesting. I don't know, it's always interesting. You see these people who are like anomalies in terms of societal success, I guess, and you're like, wait, how did they even get to that point? And I feel like it's super underrated listening to what they say. Like, we literally have access to like the most successful people, holy fucking 3 crown by the way, the most successful people in history at our fingertips, and we can just like listen to what they said and like how they got there and what their advice is. I feel like not many people I know do that.
And it's beautiful to think that we can form bonds with things that have nothing to do with us and try to experiment with those things to get new ideas. Just think about it.
A physics student tends to relate to science and mathematics, a musician to artists and singers.
But what happens when both worlds connect? Well, you can create things that the world never seen before, because there is nothing more nourishing for creativity than sharing different points of view.
I think there's an awful lot to do on this planet. I had the privilege of speaking at Stalmus a couple of years ago, which was a festival put on by a friend of mine about astronomy and astrophysics and space exploration and music. It's a bit of an ambitious thing. And along with a lot of the astronauts, the original astronauts and cosmonauts from America and Russia, I stood up and said what I thought about space exploration. And
it's always nice to remember that we can challenge the things that are already done with new proposals. In my case, I have many things that I like to do, from geography, history, illustration, and even learning new languages.
And I know that if were not for the variety of areas I have shown interest in exploring, I will still be stuck with only the basic knowledge of the things I have learned. That's why I believe that people from outside a given field are important for giving us new points of view, because they approach things with curiosity. Newcomers have a skill that veterans often lose, and that's the illusion of learning. The ability to approach things with fresh eyes before a landscape they don't yet know. They don't carry the biases or stigmas that someone with more experience has acquired over time. In that way, they can create with passion. Just as Ken conveys that love for making videos with passion, although we don't share the same goals, I like knowing that kind of people, passionate people who do not look up because they are too busy doing what they love. That inspires me to try new things, take new colors, even when the connection doesn't make sense.